Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Corbertson J. Robertson Center on the campus of Southwestern University in Georgetown for the Pirates' 2025-26 SAA Conference home opener. Southwestern 0-1 in conference, dropping their first ever game in the SAA to a familiar foe, those Tigers of Trinity. And Southwestern looking to take their first ever game in the Southern Athletic Association here at home as they face the Berry College Vikings tonight in Georgetown. Underway, Pirates in the home white, going from left to right here in the first quarter. Visitors in the blue from the Peach State. The Vikings from Georgia also 0-1, having fallen in their conference opener at Oglethorpe. Both teams looking for the first conference win of the season. Visitors unable to find something. Their first trip down the floor. Now Southwestern. Benitez underneath. Off on the putback. And it's going to end up with the Vikings in the hands of Briaya Lewis, the 5'10 sophomore from Atlanta. Thomas Johnson in charge of the Vikings. Longtime head coach, 9th year in charge. And a quick whistle is going to go against Southwestern. Pirates led by third-year head coach Caitlin Kriesel-Bigler. Her teams have improved every year here in Georgetown. They've already set a record for most wins in her tenure with a very impressive 9 already. 9-3 record for Southwestern, 0-1 in conference, and 4-1 here at home. And the Vikings at the line looking to draw first blood, and they will. Avery Payne, the 5'6 freshman from Franklin, Tennessee, knocks down the first free throw as the team visitors shooting just under 63% from the stripe this season. Payne hits them both, 2-0. Visitors on top. I mentioned that tough loss for Southwestern against Trinity. And it's going to be a battle of the bigs. Coach Kriesel-Bigler told me earlier, she said, Vikings have size. We're going to have to pack it in. Really rely on our bigs, namely Trinity Benitez, the star junior from Granbury out of Lipan High School. Benitez defending. A long shot from the corner, knocked down. Good stroke from Lewis. Lewis, that 5'10 frame, but the sophomore from Atlanta showing her range, and it's 4-0 Berry. Southwestern trying to get something going on the offensive end. 3 ball coming from McCoy off the back of the iron, rebounded by Lewis. Lewis second on this team, averaging 11 points a game. She and Callahan both in double digits for the Vikings as they turn it over. Pirates also with Castillo and Benitez, double-digit scorers. Castillo, the freshman from just south of Austin, Hayes High School there in Buda. It's been an absolute star this year. A very talented freshman class for Southwestern. Coach Kriesel-Bigler singing their praises. Southwestern unable to find anything there. Some contact, but no whistle underneath. She said, but year 3, it's been the difference. They've had the buy-in from the returners, the freshmen. And the long 3 off the back of the iron. Pirates with the rebound, the aforementioned Castillo. They're pressing more. They have the athletes to do so, and the score lines and their record of 9-3 reflecting just that. A long 2 off the front of the iron. Benitez over the back. Unfortunate, no foul called there. Simply Vikings ball. Southwestern looking to apply a little pressure here. Trailing 4-0, 7:24 remaining in the first quarter. Easily broken into the front court goes Payne. Takes it herself, lays it up and in. 6-0 Vikings. The Southwestern will take a timeout to talk things over. An early deficit for the home side here in their SAA Conference home opener. And with the timeout, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate partners, Don Hewitt Chevrolet, Aramark Food and Facility Services, Rudy's Barbecue, Double Dave's Pizza, Frost Bank, Mighty Fine Burgers, Tony C's Pizza, Texas Honey Ham, Reverie Coffee, The League Kitchen and Tavern, Fairfield Inn and Residence Inn, Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services. Huge thanks to all of the Southwestern University corporate sponsors for their continued support of Southwestern University athletics. A doubleheader this weekend in the SAA as we will have another game. Oglethorpe in town on Sunday. We'll have the women at 11, the men at 1. Hope you'll join us for that here at the Robertson Center. Have it for you on southwesternpirates.com. And we'll have the men to follow in Game 2 tonight between the Vikings and the Pirates. Southwestern will make the return trip to the Peach State, heading to Mount Berry on February the 13th. Part of that regular season wrap-up is Berry will be hosting the SAA Conference Championships as well. That'll be the final weekend of February there in Mount Berry, Georgia. Pirates hoping that their first year in conference, they will have an opportunity to make a trip to the conference championship. I was always glad to have you with us. Very happy New Year to you and yours. Hope it is off to a fantastic start. Bit of a slow start here for the Pirates tonight at home. 6-0 they trail. Visitors shooting 50% from the field. Southwestern 0 of 6 from the field. A long three off the front of the iron. Rebound comes right back out to Castillo. Now Benitez nearly lost it. Castillo there to retain possession. Benitez underneath. Couldn't finish at the cup. Rebounded by Callahan. Callahan, that 6-foot senior. We mentioned the height. Lewis at 5'10". Ellard also at 5'10". There's certainly size. As Coach Kriesel-Bigler told me, the three ball off the mark from Ellard. Rebound and the putback nicely done on the glass that time. Callie Jackson, the senior out of Athens, Georgia, with her first points in the ball game. Southwestern still trying to find a field goal, something that has eluded them nearly 4 minutes in. From the corner. And there we have it, a three ball. Emma Flores, the sophomore out of San Antonio Harlan, finally puts the Pirates on the scoreboard. A much-needed bucket there. And tied up, Southwestern's defense flexing its muscle in transition. That's what the Pirates are going to need. Force some turnovers. Mentioned the battle of the big. Southwestern will pack it in defensively to counter that size from the Vikings. Doing a good job there, using their speed in the open court. Now Benitez. Flores looking underneath, knocked away and stolen away by Lewis. Read it perfectly. Southwestern tried to get it in to Kylie Simons, the 5'11 freshman from Tomball. Simons well defended there on Lewis, just went straight up, did not commit the foul. And it's going to be a jump ball, tied up. But again, full credit to Simons, doing a very nice job, did the freshman. Smart defending. Sometimes young players always want to get the block and don't commit the foul if they don't get it. She just wisely went straight up. Kicked over here. Jackson unable to knock it down and out of bounds. Last touch by Payne of the Vikings. 5:18 remaining in the first quarter. 8-3. Vikings on top. 6-7 overall is Berry. Southwestern 9-3. Both 0-1 in conference. Both looking for their first SAA win of the season as Benitez just lost the handle. Benitez second on this team, just over 10 points. Mentioned Castillo's 14 leading the Pirates, and McCoy right there with almost 10 of her own. That three-headed monster really getting it done. Our official on the baseline is going to say that's going to stay with the Vikings. Last touch by Southwestern. Benitez passing the 500-point mark in her Southwestern career. May well pass the 500-rebound mark this season as she's just 359 coming into tonight. But the way she does work on the glass, she could easily get to that 500 mark. Flores looking for Benitez and just kind of lost in no man's land. Flores knew it. Wasn't quite sure what she wanted to do with it as she will come off. giving away now to Kylie Lopez, the junior guard out of A.C. Jones High School in Beeville, making her first appearance of the night. Payne easily into the front court. Now Jackson for three. Rebounded underneath by Callahan, using that big frame, stolen away by Simons. Simons a very impressive first-year player. The freshman has really come alive. We mentioned this talented freshman class, and you can argue Simons and Castillo the best of the bunch, and that's saying something. McCoy knocks it down from the elbow. The junior out of Frisco, and that is what they need from McCoy. She can hit shots like that and make you pay, and Southwestern doing a good job having cut the deficit to one possession. And Barry will take a timeout. 3:58 remaining in the first quarter. 8-5. Vikings lead the Pirates here in Georgetown. And again, we would like to extend our deepest and most sincere appreciation to all the Southwestern University athletic sponsors, including the league and tavern, Double Dave's Pizza, Frost Bank, Don Hewlett Chevrolet, Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services. Huge thanks to all of them for their continued support of Southwestern University athletics. Southwestern just 30% from the field, 3 of 10. After a very slow start, starting to come alive a bit though. They battled back into it. It was Barry who had the better of things early on. Southwestern working their way into it. A Barry team who scores more points as the game progresses. You could say that's a bit of a slow start in their own right. Southwestern does most of their damage in the third quarter. They come out of the locker rooms hot to start the second half. See what they can get going here. 3.5 remaining in the first. McCoy nearly lost it all. Benitez wide open underneath. Easy finish. And a great look from McCoy. Almost lost possession, had the wherewithal. Keep her head up, found Benitez, and it's a one-point game. As Southwestern defense, we mentioned they have the speed, size in favor of the visitors. Southwestern using that speed, pressing out, nearly forced another turnover. Payne setting things up. Over to Jade Lewis, the 5'11 grad student. Transfer from Georgia Southwestern State University with her first basket. Lewis, good size at 5'11". It seems like almost everyone on that Vikings roster is in that 5'10", 5'11 range. Step back from Kellum. The sophomore from Dallas, unable to knock it down. Lewis. Riaya Lewis playing a little high-low game, trying to go inside to Travis. Seems rather a Zeta there. Now back to Lewis, and she's tied up. Just took her eyes off it and swooped in. Did Kylie Lopez. Great work. Riaya Lewis just taking a little too much time in the paint. Thought she had it, and Lopez took full advantage. Another turnover forced by the Pirates. Kellum looking to drive in. And able to get around Azeda. Step back Lopez for three, in and out. A tough shot there, a good one, had her feet set. Trying to find it inside, well defended by Kellum. It'll stay with the Vikings. As the Pirates making a pair of changes, Benitez and Lopez coming off. Flores coming back on, as does Lauren Stevens, the 6'1 junior forward out of Sugar Land. George Ranch High School product, making her first appearance in the ball game. They're certainly going to need her size tonight, you would imagine. Over in the corner, Jay Lewis couldn't knock it down. Azeda uses a 6'1 frame for the rebound, and she throws it away. An unforced turnover there. Elena Zeta trying to locate Jade Lewis. Lewis just couldn't get back to it in time, and Vikings keeping Southwestern in this one, and still a 4-point game with 90 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Opening frame, first game of 2 in the SAA home opener for Southwestern University. Stevens underneath the rebound and the putback, and that is exactly what they need from Lauren Stevens. Great work on the glass. And a nice response in transition from Jade Lewis for the Vikings. Lewis doing a good job there, quickly up the floor. Good ball movement from Southwestern. Flores. And too tall for Simons. Trying to locate the talented freshman as she was cutting along the baseline. And just couldn't find her that time. The 4th turnover of the ball game by the Pirates. Vikings have turned it over 5 times themselves. Under a minute remaining here in the first quarter. Zeta at the elbow and knocked out of bounds. The last touch by Castillo. It'll stay with the Vikings. Mila Castillo, Pirates freshman guard, saw it coming, just couldn't get there in time. Aiello taking over the point with Payne on the bench, stolen away by Stevens. Southwestern, 20 seconds remaining. Shot clock turned off here at the end of the first quarter, but they turn it right back over. Pass right to Lewis. Now the Vikings, a chance to extend their lead here at the end of the first quarter. 5 seconds, and the 3 ball up from Aiello. And that'll do it for the first quarter. 13-9, Barry with the lead. And the first quarter in the books here in the SAA home opener for Southwestern University basketball. That first quarter brought to you by Rudy's Barbecue, Tony C's Pizza, Rivery Coffee, Fairfield and Residence Inn, Texas Honey Ham, Mighty Fine Burgers, and Airmark Food and Facility Services. Barry leading 13-9 as we start the second quarter here at the Robertson Center in Georgetown. Glad to have you with us. A very warm welcome, particularly those of you in the Peach State. Glad to have your company. In the first quarter, Barry 33% from the field, 5 of 15, just 1 of 8 from 3, and 2 of 2 from the line. Southwestern just under 27%. 4 of 15 from the field and just 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. Rebounds, 10-8 in total rebounds in favor of the Vikings. And turnovers, 5 by the Vikings, 4 by the Pirates, something both teams will like to clean up as we get the second quarter underway here in Central Texas. Zeta along the baseline, looking inside, nice pass, spinning. And it's going to be a travel called on Ava Travis, the junior from Dayton, Tennessee. Did a nice job flashing across the lane. And then promptly turned it right back over as Pirates making changes. Benitez coming back on alongside Simons. McCoy and Stevens coming off for the Pirates. Stevens getting some big minutes off the bench, contributing, and they will certainly need her length tonight. Simons looking for Benitez. Oh, lost it, stolen away. That time Jade Lewis, the Atlanta native, doing a good job in the paint. Her hands are busy. And Southwestern hearing that, they'll take it away. That time Flores with the steal. Kellum up the floor. Flores thought about it, thought better, did the sophomore from San Antonio, and turned over again, trying to feed the post. Looking for Benitez in the low block. Jade Lewis now. Zeta out beyond the arc. Kept in somehow. Nice work that time from Aiello. Driving along the baseline, Travis. Out to Aiello for three. Benitez there with the rebound. Both teams been able to find a basket here to start the second quarter. Still a 4-point Vikings lead. Castillo, the long rebound out to Benitez, who wisely gets a shot up and draws the foul. It'll be on Gabrielle Aiello, the junior from Canton, Georgia, picking up her first. And that will send Trinity Benitez to the line. The 5'10 junior forward. Benitez, a 74% free throw shooter. No trouble on the first. Unable to hit the second. So Pirates 1 of 2 in their first trip to the line tonight. Not a lot of free throws attempted. They combined 4. Each team just 1 trip to the line thus far. At least early on. Stolen away. Flores. It'll be out of bounds off the Pirates. They couldn't keep it in, but nice job again. Flores making a nuisance of herself. Mentioned that speed Southwestern has. That's an advantage. They're doing a good job exploiting it. And those bigs from the Vikings need to be very cognizant of that. And they put the ball on the hardwood. Pirates are going to try to swoop in and steal it away. Callahan, 4 seconds on the shot clock, is well short. Castillo likes the matchup. Flores around the screen. Tovar looking inside. Benitez double teamed. Oh, nice touch from Benitez underneath. Trinity Benitez getting it done. Second on this Pirates squad in points per game, leads them in rebounds. She is an absolute force in the paint. So far leading the way for Southwestern tonight with 5 points as they've cut the deficit to 1. 7:12 remaining in the first half, 13-12, Barry on top. Payne back on as the point. She turns it over right into the hands of Tovar. Well, Tovar, the local product from just down the road in Round Rock. Southwestern unable to turn the turnover into points. As Briaya Lewis comes back on. Oh, knocked away Castillo there. Payne unable to get it over her. And it's going to be a time violation. Couldn't get it over midcourt. Very well defended by Southwestern. Castillo using that long frame. And when that ball ricocheted right back to Avery Payne, just didn't have a real sense of urgency that you would imagine. She knew she just had a few seconds to get it over midcourt. She did not. Another turnover. Southwestern has to take this opportunity and find points. Flores over in the corner. 3 off in the nick of time as the shot clock was expiring, but unable to find her target. Simons there with the attempt. Lewis kicking out to Payne. Trying to work around the screen, stolen away by Castillo into the front court. Castillo couldn't finish. Got by Callahan. Castillo did all the hard work, just couldn't drop that one in the bucket. Oh, wide open. McCoy off the inbounds, just left alone. Defensive lapse by the Vikings, and Southwestern takes advantage, and with it, their first lead of the ball game. 5:42 remaining in the first half, and the Pirates are on top 14-12. Excuse me, 14-13. Southwestern, their first lead tonight. McCoy around the screen, off the glass. Jade Lewis there with the rebound. Isabella Ramirez up the floor, back to Lewis. Over in the corner, Callahan, no bucket, and that is going to be an offensive foul against the Vikings. And Coach Thomas Johnson less than pleased. He and his assistant coach, Shalani Edwards, they want an explanation from the officials. What a huge basket that is waved off. As Callahan stepped back, thought she had a 3. It was not the case. Still Southwestern on top by the narrowest of margins. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Benitez underneath. Now to Tovar. Looking to find Benitez, and well defended that time by Lauren Ellard, or the senior from Oxford, Alabama. Able to get just a touch of it as Jackson comes back on for the visitors. And we'll take a timeout. 4:49 remaining in the first half. Southwestern on top, 14-13. The Pirates SAA home opener. And with that, we'd like to take the opportunity again to thank just a few of our corporate sponsors: Rudy's Barbecue, Tony C's Pizza, Rivery Coffee, Fairfield and Residence Inn, Texas Honey Ham, Mighty Fine Burgers, and Airmark Food and Facility Services. Thanks to all of our great Southwestern University athletic sponsors. Just a reminder, this game 1 in our SA home opener doubleheader tonight for the Pirates, as we will have the men of Berry College and Southwestern to follow. That game slated to tip at approximately 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Obviously contingent upon what time this one wraps up. Back to the action. 4:45 remaining in the first half. Pirates on top by 1. McCoy off the mark there as the shot clock dwindled down. A Southwestern team that has progressed in every year in Coach Caitlin Kriesel-Bigler's tenure, this year to 3, and she said it's been the biggest jump. Normally you see that jump from year 1 to year 2, but it's been year 2 to 3 here as the foul will go against Southwestern. Be charged to Kylie Simons, her first for the freshman. And already surpassing their win total from last year. They were 7-18, and they are off to a roaring 9-3 start this year, are the Pirates. Stolen away by Flores. No, right back to her opposite numbers. Ramirez comes down with it. And what a shot knocked down from Briaya Lewis. The sophomore from Atlanta, off balance, drops it in from the corner. And restores the Vikings lead. After a slow start, Pirates have really heated up. Both teams shooting just shy of 30% from the field. McCoy, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Out she goes. Simons for three. The talented freshman from Tomball with a huge three, with just a second remaining on the shot clock. And a double dribble against the Vikings. Those turnovers starting to mount. That the 14th turnover by Barry. Southwestern having turned it over just 7 times. But already 14 turnovers and still 3:25 remaining in the first half. There's obviously something Coach Johnson will address at half. I'm sure he has already. Simons again for three. Off the back of the iron, a huge rebound from Benitez. And it's going to be an offensive foul against Southwestern. Well drawn that time from Avery Payne. The freshman point guard from Tennessee did a good job standing her ground, took the contact. Never fun. And another turnover as Ellard this time started moving the feet before that ball hit the ground. Knew what she wanted to do. Sometimes the brain moves a little faster than the body. Turnovers have really been the story of this first half. Turnovers by the Vikings. But trailing by just 3. Another offensive foul, and it's Payne who draws it yet again. It'll be on Castillo. And that is her third. So Nila Castillo comes off with 3 fouls for the talented freshman guard. And I would be surprised if we saw her for the remaining 2:43 of this first half with 3 fouls. Payne having drawn those 2 charges, giving her team back possession. Here is Payne. Up the floor, easy look, and a nice finish from Callahan. Not an easy shot, but a perfect stroke from the big senior post. Now Benitez looks to go to work on her. And it's going to be a late whistle against the Vikings, and Coach Johnson is unhappy, and I think he has a reason to be. There was some contact, but didn't look anything up and above, I will say. And it was a late whistle. It'll send Benitez back to the line for the Pirates, where she's 1 of 2 tonight from the stripe. No trouble there. Benitez now leading the Pirates with 6 points. Hits them both. 2 big free throws for Trinity Benitez in Southwestern. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Having extended their lead back to 2, 19-17, Southwestern on top. A long 3 missed. Callahan with the rebound, and she's fouled. Ellie Callahan, the senior, heads to the line for the first time tonight. Leading scorer on this team, averaging 12 points a game. Also their leading rebounder, almost 8 boards a game. And a 73% free throw shooter. No trouble on the first. Callahan a chance to tie things with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The all-important 2-minute mark as both these teams trying to take a lead into the break. Callahan hits them both. And we are knotted up again, 19 all here in Georgetown. After a slow start, first 5 minutes belonged to the Vikings, but Southwestern has battled back, and it has been very competitive ever since. McCoy looking for Benitez underneath. Nice movement here from Southwestern. Able to find underneath. The freshman draws the foul, does Simons. It's going to be on Callie Jackson. That is her first, the 4-team foul. That'll send Simons to the line. Simons, a very impressive 84% free throw shooter, and there's a broadcaster's curse. I'll take responsibility for that miss. Anytime you say nice things about a player, those things unfortunately happen. The law of broadcasting. Simons misses them both. Uncharacteristic. Southwestern unable to take advantage of the trip to the stripe, and we are still tied 19 all. Under 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. Looking inside that time, Avery Huffman, the freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia. Lopez up the floor. Benitez underneath, and she is fouled by Briaya Lewis. Great play from Trinity Benitez. Saw she had the one-on-one, even against a good defender, immediately takes it to the rack and makes something happen. And good post players know, don't waste any time, go hard to the hoop. You're either going to get the basket or the foul. Benitez fouled that time. Benitez leading all scorers with 7 points. She's 3 of 5 from the line. And 1 of 2 in that trip. 60 seconds remaining in the first half. Southwestern clinging to a 1-point lead. A very slow start. Started to heat up, but still shooting under 27% from the field are the Pirates. Those Vikings turnovers have really kept them in it. McCoy. Out to Kellum. Benitez likes the matchup and draws another foul, does Trinity Benitez. And you can see the Pirates want to play the high-low game. They want to establish Benitez low in the block. If she has a one-on-one matchup, they are going to give her the ball. And as I said, she's either going to make it or she's going to be fouled. And as tightly contested as this one is, it may come down to the free throw shooting, particularly the free throw shooting of one Trinity Benitez for Southwestern. Hits them both. 3-point Pirate lead. Shot clock, game clock almost identical at 23 seconds here remaining in the first half. It appears that the Vikings will hold for the final shot of the opening half. Paint. Out she goes. 3-ball off the mark that time from Huffman. But rebounded by the Vikings. 2 seconds. And banked in by Briaya Lewis. Lewis has made some tough shots in the first half, but none more impressive than that. Oh, Lewis banks it in, and it's a 1-point game at halftime. Southwestern leading Berry 22-21 here in the Pirates' SAA home opener. We'll step aside. Back with you in just about 15 minutes for half number 2 here at the Robertson Center on the beautiful campus of Southwestern University. Southwestern on top, 22-21 at half. Welcome back. Start of the second half. Southwestern leading Berry 22-21. Pirates off to a slow start. They're outscored 13-9 in the first quarter, but, well, flipped the script, so to speak, outscoring the Vikings 13-8 in the second quarter for a 1-point lead. As we get the second half started, Pirates will have the opening possession. Southwestern in the white, Berry in the navy. Glad to have you with us. Warm welcome wherever you may be joining us from. And a quick foul is going to go against Briaya Lewis. The sophomore over the back picks up her second. And the first team foul there on Benitez. Sherney Benitez leads all scorers, 10 points on 2 of 4 shooting and 6 of 8 from the line. Also 5 rebounds. Southwestern as a team, shooting 27%. 7 of 26 from the field. The visitors 33%, 8 of 24. Neither team shooting well from 3. Southwestern just 2 of 11. And Berry just 1 of 12. Berry perfect from the stripe, but a small sample size, just 4 of 4. Did win the rebounding battle, 16-15 by a narrow margin. But really turnovers, that was the story of the first half. As the Vikings find the opening field goal here, a 3 to retake the lead early in half number 2. But as I was saying, Berry, 15 turnovers in the first half, 10 by Southwestern. I don't think either coaching staff will be pleased with those numbers. Certainly the Vikings will not. Already double-digit turnovers as Southwestern responds. So Southwestern, a very slow start offensively to the first half. Didn't find their first field goal until almost 5 minutes in, and they made up for it in the second quarter. Both teams trying to get off to a quick start here in the second half. And one. Knocked down, and a chance to extend the lead here where Ellie Callahan. Callahan, an impressive shot, foot on the line, so just a 2, but a chance for the 3-point play here if she can knock down the free throw, which she's unable to do. But rebound by Briaya Lewis. Another bite at the apple here for the Vikings already with 2-point lead, and they can extend it. Chance to make this a 2-possession lead. Callahan spinning away as Payne comes in. The diminutive Avery Payne, just 5'6", the freshman guard. Nobody putting a body on her. Wisely with the rebound and the putback. 28-24, Berry. The big lead here. And a quick response by Castillo. Some contact there. Castillo may be looking for the and one, and she's able to knock down the difficult shot. Mentioned Castillo, part of that very talented freshman class that Coach Kriesel Bigler spoke so highly of. And both she and Simons there on the floor, 2 of the talented freshmen, both in the starting lineup tonight, both starting here in the second half, as you would imagine. Payne out to Callahan, another 3, she's got it. Ellie Callahan starting to heat up, now 9 points to lead the Vikings. Southwestern is really going to have to do more than just put a hand out on her. They're going to have to get someone in her face. That long 6-foot frame shows off her range. Flores. It'll find Kellum, deflected over to number 24 in white. Now McCoy from the elbow. Well off the mark, and Benitez last to touch it. It'll make it Berry ball. Both teams off to a quick start here. But a 5-point lead from the Vikings. Southwestern see if they can get a stop. Again, Callahan from the corner. Nearly hit that one. Benitez out in her face. A lot of contact underneath as Callahan swoops in for the rebound. And the whistle will go against Southwestern. Kellum picking up the foul, her second team foul. The Pirates making changes. Layla Tovar on. Little high-low game. Nice look into the cutting Avery Payne. And Pirates are going to take a timeout. Southwestern trailing by 7 and being outscored 12-4 to start the second half. A raring start to the second half for the visitors and the Pirates' first home game of 2026. The SAA home opener. Southwestern now members of the Southern Athletic Association. Fell in their conference opener to a familiar foe as Trinity, like Southwestern, moved over from the SCAC to the SAA, and Trinity got the better of Southwestern down in San Antonio, 91-66, the final there. This is the first game of the calendar year for Barry, having fallen in their last 2 losses at John Carroll and Ohio Wesleyan. And then, that loss to Oglethorpe, I should say. They won conference loss. And again, we'd like to take the opportunity to thank our corporate partners, Don Hewlett Chevrolet, Airmark Food and Facility Services, Rudy's Barbecue, Double Dave's Pizza, Frost Bank, Mighty Fine Burgers, Tony C's Pizza, Texas Honey Ham, Rivery Coffee, The League Kitchen and Tavern, Fairfield Inn and Residence Inn, and Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services. A huge thanks to all of the corporate sponsors who continue to support Southwestern University athletics. Well, much as we saw to start the game, it was a very quick start for Barry. Here in the third quarter. Southwestern trying to respond, and Flores does just that with a 3. Emma Flores, the sophomore guard from the Alamo City. The huge field goal. Southwestern makes it a 4-point game. We'll see if that can get things going for the black and gold offensively. Another 3 ball from the Vikings off the mark. Benitez eventually ends up with the rebound. Trying to find a bit of space. Simons out. Good ball movement here. Tovar drives in. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Kellum from the elbow heaves it up. A shot clock violation. Very well defended by the Vikings. Forcing the first shot clock violation in the ball game. As Avery Huffman comes on for the Vikings, taking over Radisson Gorley. Huffman and Payne, the backcourt pairing now. Looking inside, Briaya Lewis is tied up. Well done. Layla Tovar able to get hands on it. Payne wisely just gets it back to Briaya Lewis. Had trouble there initially getting it in. Lewis drives in and thrown away. She was looking for Ellard. Ellard already cutting towards the paint. The pass behind her. No chance to get back to it for number 2 in Navy. Southwestern chance to cut this to a 1-possession game. Under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Simons out to Flores. Off the side of the iron. Another miss. The 3-ball not kind to either one of these teams. Southwestern just 6 of 10. Excuse me, just 3 of 13 from long range. And Barry just 3 of 16 from beyond the arc as the timeout is taken. 4:43 remaining in the third. Barry on top of Southwestern 33-29. First game in our doubleheader between the Pirates and the Vikings tonight. First home game of 2026 for Pirates basketball. We will have the men coming up next. That one's slated to tip at 7:30 p.m. We'll bring you the action live. And again, Pirates back in action, another doubleheader as they face Oglethorpe here on Sunday. The women's game, an 11 a.m. tip. And the men at 1, live from the Robertson Center. As always, if you are in the vicinity, we invite you to come join us. A little New Year's basketball and come out, bring the family. Always a great atmosphere here. A little subdued, possibly. Students still on vacation. The general student population yet to return from winter break. They will be back soon enough, and obviously that changes the complexion of home games drastically. But as always, a lot of family and friends in attendance tonight, supporting the black and gold here at home. As always, we remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and the Southwestern Athletics mobile app. If you have not already downloaded it, we encourage you to do so as well. Those of you that have, well, we appreciate that and appreciate your continued support of Southwestern University Athletics. The Pirates being outscored 12-7 here in the third quarter after they took a 1-point lead into half. Really a tale of 2 quarters. Barry better in the first, Southwestern in the second, but an evenly matched first half. The Barry team that scores the vast majority of their points by quarter in the fourth quarter. The third quarter, traditionally, when Southwestern scores the majority of their points, they need to pick it up here. With just 4:15 remaining in the third. Flores directing traffic. Over to Castillo momentarily. Now McCoy. Benitez at the elbow. Benitez underneath. Oh, slick shot from Benitez. Very smooth work from number 34 in white. Just when it looked like she'd run herself out of angle, got the shot off in the nick of time, and now with 12 points to lead all scorers. Underneath, tied up. Benitez and Simons there for Southwestern, forcing another turnover. Visitors have been better. They've gotten the turnovers under control here in the third quarter, something that they had a huge issue with in the first half. They can ill afford to get back to that. They were turning the ball over so frequently through the first 20 minutes. Simons flashing in. They couldn't find her. Flores tried to force it in, instead into the hands of Huffman. Avery Huffman into the front court. Huffman still spins. A nifty move from Huffman for her first field goal. Southwestern back to a 4-point deficit. Great feed inside. Castillo unable to finish, but she will head to the line to shoot 2. A beautiful look to the cutting Neela Castillo, the freshman out of Hayes High School, just south of Austin. At the line is the 68% free throw shooter. And able to rattle home the first. One of 2 in that trip to the stripe. 3-point Vikings lead. 3 minutes remaining in the third. Huffman's getting big minutes in this third quarter. Looking inside, Azeta stripped away, and it will stay with the Vikings. Southwestern ruled to have touched it last. Elena Azeta, sophomore forward, Great size at 6'1", trying to pose a problem for Benitez and the Pirates in the block. Out to Payne. Payne, a tough shot on the run, couldn't knock it down. Huge rebound from Gorley. And the three from Huffman. Back to a 6-point Berry lead. Southwestern needs to be careful. Momentum firmly on the side in blue. Flores. Her three off the iron. Tried to respond in kind, could not. Huffman and Payne slowing things down. They want to set up the offense here. Ellard from the corner. Out to Payne for three. Big rebound underneath. Travis there battling, couldn't retain possession. Did all the work on the glass and then turned it right back over. McCoy. Benitez brought it out to the top of the arc. Setting the screen for McCoy. McCoy likes the matchup, little scoop shot, and she draws the foul. Adriana McCoy will be heading to the line. Foul charge to Alana Azita, her first, third-team foul. So McCoy heads to the line the first time tonight as the 60% free throw shooter. The junior guard out of Frisco. They're in the greater Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Pirates having issues at the line as they are just 7 of 13 from the free throw line. Conversely, the Vikings 4 of 5 from the stripe. Southwestern, as a team, just 70% free throw shooter. Berry just 63% on the season, which certainly much better than that mark tonight. McCoy with the rebound. Quickly up to Lopez. Kellum thought about it, now driving in, and Kellum may have been better to take the initial shot. And the whistle is going to go against Southwestern. It'll be charged to Kylie Simmons, her second. Simons, excuse me. Simons, the freshman from Tomball, another impressive outing. Southwestern doesn't want this deficit to go any larger, already trailing by 5, under a minute remaining here in the third quarter, having been outscored by 6 points in the quarter. Turned over by Payne. She's kept her feet moving a step too many. Now Southwestern. Golden opportunity, 37 seconds remaining in the third. They need a basket in this possession. Simons, around one, kicks out to McCoy. Driving in. Tough shot, McCoy unable to knock it down, and contact underneath, and the foul going to be charged to Lauren Stevens. That is her fourth. No, excuse me, her first rather. Apologies there. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Scoreboard showed 4, and I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Trust your gut. Just the first on Stevens. 7 seconds remaining in the quarter. Out to Payne for 3. In and out. As the third quarter comes to a close, and the Vikings take a 5-point lead into the fourth, 38-33. Berry leading Southwestern here in the Pirates' SAA home opener in their first game of the calendar year. 10 minutes remaining. Southwestern trying to mount the comeback and move to 1-1, their first year in the Southern Athletic Association. Both these teams trying to avoid dropping to 0-2 in conference play. Again, take the opportunity to extend our deepest appreciation to the league and Tavern Double Dave's Pizza, Frost Bank, Don Hewitt Chevrolet, and Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services for their continued support of Southwestern University Athletics. Once again, remind you and encourage you to subscribe and like our YouTube channel if you have not already. And a reminder to download the Southwestern University Athletics mobile app. Start of the fourth quarter, Huffman for three, and that is how the Vikings wanted to open things up. Huffman, who saw a lot of time in the third quarter, was very impressive off the bench. The freshman guard from Alpharetta, Georgia, gets to start here in the fourth, and for good reason. And Southwestern in a hole, trailing by 8. Southwestern needs to respond. They can ill afford to let this deficit grow to double digits. And you can just really tell that Barry's starting to feel it, momentum firmly on their side. They cleaned up the turnovers. They had double-digit turnovers at half. But they only turned it over 6 times here in the second half as Benitez takes this turnover the other way and lays it up and in. Southwestern taking advantage of what was the largest Barry lead in the ball game. Elena Zeta from point-blank range couldn't finish underneath. And another turnover. Southwestern trying to respond. Benitez, she has it. And a timeout taken by the Vikings. 9:04 remaining in the ball game. A huge start through the fourth quarter by Southwestern. Exactly what they needed. Benitez, 2 field goals, now leading all scorers with 16 points. Both of those field goals to start the quarter coming off of Barry turnovers. A stellar start after the opening salvo, the 3 from Huffman. You thought that may be a bad sign for Southwestern, but they were able to force 2 more turnovers. Benitez took full advantage with a pair of field goals in transition. And it's back to a 4-point game. And still 9 minutes remaining in the ball game. And Benitez, as we said, having already eclipsed the 500-point mark in her Southwestern career. Fully expect her to eclipse the 500 rebound mark this season as well. Came into the game with a 359 rebounds for the black and gold. Obviously very impressive in that regard. And she has been the workhorse, and Southwestern knew that was going to have to be the case against a large team. Some size, and Coach Kriesel-Bigler said it, and I quote, "It's going to be a battle of the bigs. We're going to have to pack it in and battle in the paint. We'll see if we're up for the task." But a more competitive team. They've had the buy-in, and you could see that, the difference this year from Southwestern, already eclipsing their win total from the last 2 seasons. Huffman being defended by Castillo, able to get it across midcourt. Huffman directing traffic. 10 seconds on the shot clock, still with Huffman. And it's going to go against Huffman. What a job defensively by Castillo. The freshman guard, Hila Castillo, just stuck with her. Eventually, Huffman got a little frustrated, extended the arm, And Castillo rewarded. Southwestern back with it, forcing another turnover. They need to turn it into points. Castillo for three. Off the back of the iron. That would have brought the fans to their feet here at the Robertson Center. Jay Lewis on the floor for Barry. Huffman had to be careful there, tight-roping midcourt. Callie Jackson now. Jackson inside to Travis. Azeta. Last to touch it, Pirates ball. And a line change coming for the Vikings as they are going to bring 4 new players on. The only one who remains on the floor is Jade Lewis. Callahan, Ellard, Briaya Lewis, all coming on the floor along with Avery Payne. Fresh legs, fresh faces. And the starting crew back out for Coach Johnson. Castillo, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Flores. McCoy, 2 seconds. Flores didn't get it off in time. Southwestern just not aware of how little time remained on the shot clock. McCoy tried to make that final pass. One too many as Flores couldn't get the shot off. Still a 4-point Vikings lead. 7-27 remaining in the ball game. 3 from Lewis. Off the back of the iron. Big rebound from Castillo. In there in the paint. Really showing she can do it all. Such a versatile player is the freshman. Benitez now. Around one. No whistle. Immediately looked at the referee. Shinned it up on the deck. Payne the other way. In transition. Ellard. Unable to hit the three. This one bounces around, ultimately corralled by Flores and the Pirates, and she turns it right over. No trouble for Callahan. Right place, right time. Back to a 6-point Vikings lead. 43-37. McCoy could not respond with the three. Southwestern not getting second chance opportunities. Vikings doing a very good job on the defensive glass. I would have thought about it. Instead, on to Callahan in the opposite corner. Underneath, Brianna Lewis. Ellard comes in. Blocked from behind. No, they're going to say a foul. They're going to charge it on Hila Castillo, and just looked to me like she had a clean block. That one out of bounds, didn't see the contact. Our officials saw otherwise. As Lauren Ellard heads to the line, does the senior from Oxford, Alabama. Ellard, a 64% free throw shooter on the season. Ellard doing her work at the line. Back to an 8-point lead, matching the largest lead of the ball game for the Vikings. Simons. Again, the defensive rebound by the Vikings. Southwestern not getting second chance opportunities. And a key possession here. Barry trying to extend their lead to double digits. Just 5:35 remaining in the ball game. Jade Lewis. Now Brianna Lewis inside. And it's going to be a foul charge to Simons. Thought she did a very good job. Didn't leave her feet, went straight up. But the officials going to charge Kylie Simons with her third second team foul. That'll send Ellie Callahan to the line, or the senior misses the first. Misses them both. Now leaving points at the line. Visitors now 6 of 9 from the line. They just missed once in 7 attempts previous to that trip to the line by Ellard. McCoy knocks it down, a long two, and an immediate timeout taken by Pirates' third-year head coach Caitlin Kriesel-Bigler. Southwestern has cut it back to a 6-point deficit. 5:03 remaining in the ball game. 45-39, Vikings with the lead. And again, take the opportunity to thank Rudy's Barbecue, Tony C's Pizza, Rivery Coffee, Fairfield and the Residence Inn, and Texas Honey Ham, Mighty Fine Burgers, and Airmark Food and Facility Services. Kindly bringing you this time out. Their continued support of Southwestern University Athletics. We'll have game 2 between the Pirates and the Vikings. The men coming up. That one's slated to tip at 7:30 Central Time. A few of you may be watching that Peach Bowl. Speaking of this Peach State, big game there in Atlanta in college football. The Hoosiers and the Ducks, Indiana and Oregon. Well, you can have us on your tablet, your phone, your computer, or on the Southwestern YouTube channel and watch those games simultaneously. We certainly appreciate it as the foul charged to Southwestern. It's Kellum who picks up her third, and the third team foul. Still plenty of time, 4:51 remaining, but Southwestern has to start getting some stops. They cannot afford to trade baskets at this point. Trailing by 6. Ellard looking to drive in, lost it. Lopez had it, and Ellard wisely able to get hands on it, tied it up, and the arrow will give possession to the Pirates. Every possession important at this juncture. Nearly stolen away. Benitez, strong hands, able to get it. McCoy from the elbow. That's her spot. A huge basket makes it a 4-point game. If you let Adriana McCoy get to the elbow, she will make you pay. In transition, Ellard the other way is fouled. No. They're going to say a travel. Took the extra step to avoid the initial defender. A big turnover there. Now Southwestern a chance to cut this to a 1-possession game. 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. Kellum around the screen. Kellum. The offensive foul. As Lauren Ellard saw it coming a mile away, got set, took the contact. Kellum picking up her 4th. And Pirates making a pair of changes as Emma Flores and Neela Castillo back on for the black and gold. Looking inside, oh, what a feed. A beautiful bounce pass from Briaya Lewis right into the hands of Ellie Callahan. Callahan, all she had to do was lay it up and in, but that was all about the feed, and nearly another basket the other way in transition, but they're going to say Ellard stepped on the sideline, gives it right back. But again, did that previous play, I'm an old school purist. Great passes like that, particularly bounce passes, are rare, and there was a beautiful one right there from Briaya Lewis. Full credit. She puts it back to a 6-point Viking lead, just over 3 minutes remaining. Time starting to become a factor for Southwestern. McCoy, 3 seconds on the shot clock, fires it off the side, gets her own rebound, and the putback. Nobody putting a body on McCoy, and she makes him pay. Payne wisely slowing things down here. Avery Payne over to Jay Lewis for three, and drawing neither glass nor iron. The air ball, certainly not the shot Coach Johnson wanted there. Thankfully, turned right back over by Southwestern. Pirates not doing themselves any favors here. They had a great opportunity with the turnover, and they gave it right back. And Avery Payne wisely, just a freshman, but knows how to milk the clock and is going to do so in this possession. Just over 2 minutes remaining. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Payne for three. Couldn't knock it down. The long rebound tracked down by Callahan. And the Vikings can get this one all the way down to under a minute 40 before they have to take another shot. Into the paint, Callahan working on Benitez, off the glass. Oh, what a shot. With 1 second remaining on the shot clock, they took every possible second and came away with the field goal. And the foul going against Barry, the blocking foul on the side. Southwestern, charged with the blocking foul on the sideline. Pirates fans less than pleased. A huge call there with less than 90 seconds remaining, and another Pirates turnover. Barry has really cleaned up the turnovers in the second half, and Southwestern committing the foul here is Trinity Benitez. Benitez leads all scorers, 15 points. 16. Callahan's 15 lead the Vikings. But those turnovers I mentioned, 26 by Barry. 15 of those coming in the first half. Callahan sinks the free throw. And Barry, 16-2 advantage in bench points. Really getting it done with those players coming off. Getting big minutes and big contributions from the floor. Southwestern just 2 bench points. And the bigs doing it. Points in the paint, 22 for the Vikings. Thought it would be a little more, but even so, almost half of their points coming in the paint. Under a minute remaining. Barry with the lead, and they're going to take every second they can off, up by 7. And the foul finally committed by Simons with 42 seconds remaining in the ball game. First home game of 2026, the first SAA home opener for Southwestern basketball, having joined the Southern Athletic Association this season along with Trinity. The two SCAC foes moving and now continuing their rivalry in a new conference. But some things stay the same, and that is Southwestern Trinity. Certainly a lot of new foes. Barry will be one of them. I mentioned they will make their return trip to Mount Berry, Georgia, coming on February the 13th. Barry also hosting this year's SAA Championships, the final weekend of February. Pirates hoping to be there in the conference tournament. But just 42 seconds away from beginning their SAA tenure with an 0-2 record. And timeout taken. 41 seconds remaining. Trailing by 7 are Southwestern. And again, one final time, we remind you, if you have not already, encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also to download the Southwestern Athletics mobile app. And for those of you that have, very much appreciated, and your continued support of Southwestern University athletics. This one not over, still 41 seconds remaining. But a 7-point deficit. Southwestern, they've been outscored in every quarter with the exception of the second, where they outscored Barry 13-8. But a big third quarter from Barry. They trailed by 1 at the half. Southwestern took a 1-point lead into halftime. Barry came out, really turned the tables in the third quarter, and they have not looked back since. Both teams shooting below their season average in field goals. Southwestern at 34%, 16 of 47. Barry 19 of 49, that equating to 39% from the field. Both teams shooting less than 20% from three. McCoy from the elbow. That's her spot. Couldn't hit it there. Benitez, a ton of contact. Hard to the floor, but no whistle. Surprising. And a heads-up play from Ellard. Knew that time more important than the basket. She could have easily gone and laid that up and in, but that's what you expect from a senior, the veteran leadership. She will head to the line, and clock stopping with 22 seconds remaining. Benitez, 16 points, leading the Pirates. Callahan with 16 to lead the Vikings. McCoy, the only other scorer in double digits, with 13. And credit to Avery Huffman as well. I mentioned the freshman who came off the bench, got a lot of time in the third quarter, and to start the fourth has 8 points. Very impressive showing from her. Certainly liked what I saw from the freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia. Made a very good backcourt pairing with Avery Payne, a pair of freshmen there. Tovar off the mark. Put back not going for Simons. He'll stay with the Pirates. 5.5 seconds left in this one. Southwestern will turn their thoughts to Sunday when they host Oglethorpe. Barry will head down to San Antonio to take on Trinity, their first ever matchup in the SAA. And that'll do it. Southwestern's 2026 home opener, an SAA home opener. Pirates coming up a bit short, falling to the Barry College Vikings, 51-43, the final. Stick with us. We'll step aside and back with you for Game 2 in our doubleheader between Southwestern and Barry. The men coming up next one final time. The final for the women. Barry College Vikings 51, Southwestern University Pirates 43.